Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Charlie, and I've got my friend here, Ben Weston, with me.
What's up, people? Thanks again for joining us. We've got a big one today. We're talking about one of Shakespeare's wildest and darkest plays, Macbeth. And yeah, don't worry, we're not gonna get all high and mighty in or talking Old English.
Nope, this is gonna be super chill. We're gonna look at a theme that's not just in the play, but still totally hits today, and it's ambition. And specifically, what happens when ambition gets out of control. Because honestly, Macbeth is the ultimate care what you wish for story.
I think you mean careful what you wish for, right, Donald?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's about this guy, Macbeth, who's told by some creepy witches that he's gonna be the king. And instead of just waiting to see if it happens, he decides to make it happen. Like full on murder his way to the top level. Kind of crazy, right?
Yeah, very crazy. And from there, everything spirals. There's blood, betrayal, guilt, ghosts, everything, you name it. But underneath all the chaos is a huge message about ambition, what drives it, what it does to people, and how fast it can mess up your life if you don't keep it in check.
Hey, Donnie.
Yeah.
What was your overall thoughts on the book?
I thought it was actually a really good book. At first, I wasn't expecting much, but then it caught me off guard.
I'd say the same thing. It was kind of slow at the beginning and then kind of amped up when all the kind of exciting stuff started happening.
Yeah.
We're back from our little commercial break. So let's start with Macbeth himself. At the beginning of the play, the guy is actually kind of a hero. He's loyal to the King Duncan. He is this big war hero, and he is very respected by many people in the town. If LinkedIn existed back then, his profile would be stacked. What do you think, Donnie?
Yeah, I think his profile would be very stacked as well. Totally, but then bam, he meets these three witches. They tell him he's gonna become king someday, and even though they don't say how or when, he can't stop thinking about it, and it's just everything that's on his mind.
And that's like the main point. The witches don't they don't make him do anything, but it's kind of from his own ideas that they plant in his head. But Macbeth's mind runs with it. You can tell it's something that he secretly wants, but won't tell many people.
Yep, I agree with that. And his wife, Lady Macbeth, steps in and fans the flames out. She says, like, if you're really a man, you'll go after what you want. Just trying to give him like some subtle advice. And she hits him with a guilt trip and then questions his courage.
I feel like that, part where you said fans the flames, I feel like that can relate to many things in life, not just a story, but adds into how it sometimes can either help in a good way, as in encouragement, or it can be a bad way and kind of ruin what you already have going on. I don't know, just something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But after she gives him the guilt trip and the questions about his courage, she goes on and on. There's this part where she said, promised something like he did, she would have dashed her own baby's brains out rather than break her word. I think that's kind of crazy to say that, but personally that's just how I think about it. What do you think?
Yeah, I think she's kind of gotta chill out, because she's pretty intense, but it works. And Macbeth caves and kills King Duncan. That's the moment he crosses the line. He knows it's wrong, and in the story he even says, I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition. And I feel like, in my opinion, that the only thing that could really mean is like the only thing driving him is raw and like reckless ambition.
And then, like, kind of after that, it just keeps getting worse. Killing Duncan doesn't really like give him that satisfaction that he was looking for. Now he's worried or scared that someone else is going to take the crown from him instead of like happening what the three witches promised. So most of you are wondering, what does he do now? Well, he kills Banquo, then Macduff's family. It's kind of just nonstop, and he's getting harder to stop now that he's on a killing spree.
Yeah, it's just like nonstop, I feel like. And it's like he opens the door to ambition and he can't shut it because it's just so overpowering. And he goes from, should I kill Duncan, all the way to better kill everyone who looks at me funny. And I just feel like he completely loses himself and just has like these thoughts that aren't him.
No, yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, he loses himself. He forgets who he was and what he kind of stood for before all this like paranoia happened.
Yeah.
And one of the like kind of crazy things is none of this makes him happy about like what he's doing, but he just like can't stop what he's doing. He's not living his best life. Like, he's not living his best life on the throne. He's very paranoid, and he claims that he is seeing ghosts, and I think that's also one of the reasons that he's kind of losing his mind, because it's making him freak out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also kind of tragic that he gets what he wanted, but he still doesn't feel fulfilled in what he's like, in what he is going, or like what he's wanting to accomplish.
Yeah, it's almost like he's hallucinating and just seeing stuff, and it's making his mind go crazy. And you can't forget Lady Macbeth. At the start, she's all in, just being like super ambitious. But after the murder, you can just see her fall apart, and how much the murder like really touched her and made her just like fall apart. That one scene where it's like out damn spot, it's kind of like sad and heartbreaking, and she can't live with the guilt, and she just lets it get to her.
I think that's exactly the thing. You can tell that ambition doesn't just ruin Macbeth, but it also catches up to her too. The pressure and guilt of the violence that they have both, or that Macbeth has committed, is like catching up to them in a not so healthy way. That ambition they thought would make them great and successful is ending up destroying them and kind of pushing them back to where they can't be as great as they once thought they could be.
Yeah, so there's our breakdown, a little breakdown on Macbeth's ambition.
And we'll come back after the commercial.
Yeah.
Welcome back. We finished our long and restful break. It was only about like 5 minutes, but still a break. All right, so let's pull this into like the real world for a second, because honestly, I kind of want to see this kind of thing like all the time. People chasing power or success and doing whatever it takes to get to it, even if it's shady, but not too shady, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will do, like in the real world, I think a lot of people will do like anything if they see like money, and they kind of just, they're chasing the money for anything. But yeah, I agree with what he's saying. I mean, just like look at politics. There are leaders who like they lie and they sometimes cheat the system and even manipulate other people just to do like anything to stay in power, because they'll just do anything even if it's like cheating or shady. Or in business, there's like massive big companies that will like cut corners or like hurt the environment even by like even hurting their own workers to increase like profits, or just completely destroy their competition so it looks like they're better, even if they have to like lose their customers or their employees to look good.
Yeah, I think that's one of the hard realities of life, is not everything is perfect and shiny. I think that's one of the main reasons it relates to the book so much, is it kind of like it comes into the real world, seeing what other people will do. And I don't know, that's kind of the main thing I kind of think about this book. Or even in like everyday life, there's like people stepping on others' foot just to get ahead, bending the rules, faking stuff to look like more successful than they actually are. At the same time, it affects energy and ambition with no moral filter. That's just like kind of crazy and kind of weird that that happens all the time.
Yeah, but I feel like we're making it sound like ambition is really bad, but it's not. Ambition isn't like that bad. Wanting to grow and like succeed and achieve goals, like that's really good. But when you like let ambition become everything, you're willing to throw away like your main values and like even your relationships or just like anything to get what you want. And then that's when ambition almost like becomes toxic and just hurtful.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, ambition definitely needs some boundaries, and you need to know, or like the people that are around you and who will keep you like accountable or keep you grounded to being yourself. And I mean, in Macbeth's case, he had Lady Macbeth like pushing him further and further, but not pulling him back to where he was. No one tells him, hey, maybe you're doing the wrong thing. Maybe don't kill the king. Like, there's nobody telling him not to do what, or like, nobody's telling him what he's doing is wrong, so it hurts him and doesn't allow him to come back to his roots.
Yeah, and honestly, that's why I think the play still hits today. Obviously, the play is really good and stuff, but the theme of the play is just like we all deal with ambition, whether it's like getting into college or landing a job or even like building something cool. Like it can be any age, you probably just don't realize it, but we all deal with it, and it's a part of life, but how you chase it matters the most.
Yeah, I definitely think about that too. Definitely for us younger kids in our junior years, still thinking about, I mean, we're starting to think about college and what we might do, and it's, I don't know, it gives you the ambition to push forward to what you actually want in life. And I mean, what is ambition without conscience? I mean, that's how you get a tragedy, and it's kind of unfortunate. But there we go. We'll take another short break, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. We're back from our break, and we'll start off with Donnie.
Yeah, and these are our final thoughts and takeaways. All right, so what are we taking away from all of this? For me, Macbeth is a huge red flag. It's saying, like, be careful how far you're willing to get what you want, because you might get it, but at what cost? Like, who would you lose, or what would you have to sacrifice, and is it really worth it losing that?
I mean, I totally agree with that statement. It also is a big reminder that ambition needs a balance with accountability, with ethics, with people who keep you honest and keep you grounded, being yourself. Because once you cross the line of not turning back, it's insanely hard to come back and impossible to become who you once were.
Yeah, and I think that's something we should all think about. Whether you're going from like a big promotion, trying to go viral on TikTok, or even chasing your dream, or anything, playing Clash Royale. Like, what are you willing to do? And is it still worth it? If it means you're hurting people or losing yourself, like, sometimes I play Clash Royale in Clash, and I just hurt myself by not focusing.
The ambitions aren't in the right place. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
I mean, something that also hurt Macbeth is like he didn't stop to think about what he was doing. Like he didn't stop to ask those questions that we are thinking about. Like he was just too in his own world, and he couldn't come back without help with someone, and he didn't have the help that he needed, so it hurt him a lot. And I mean, just cost him everything. Cost him the whole world. Cost him whatever he was wanting to achieve. And we'll be back after another short break.
And we're back.
For the last little bit.
And thank you so much for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this deep, like a more deeper dive into Macbeth and the wild ride that unchecked ambition.
Yep. And now we want to hear from you. Is ambition always a risk? What do you guys think about that? You guys consider it risky or not risky? Can it be a good thing if it's managed the right way? Have you ever had a Macbeth moment in your life where your goals started messing with your head, where it makes you think differently than what you usually would? What do you think?
What?
Never mind.
Yeah, so hit us up on social media, leave a comment or shoot us a message. We'd love to keep the combo going. And yeah.
Don't forget to subscribe. Next week we are talking about The Great Gatsby and The American Dream. So, you know that one's definitely going to be juicy.
All right, catch you next time on Benny and the Jets.
See ya.